I'm Larry Ridley, and you're tuned in to Madden 18 on EA Sports. Today's matchup features a very good rushing offense. The Cowboys lead the league in rushing TDs, and they'll go up against the Eagles, who will need to be stout up front.
Thank you very much. We are pleased, as always, to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. Of the NFL season, Week 17 is underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. And a look here at their go-to guy under center. First carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll get this one up to the 26. A gain of 3, second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
They go to Elliott again. He takes this for 3 to the 29. And we peek at the defense now for Philadelphia.
Fletcher Cox is a Pro Bowl, all-pro talent at defensive tackle. And even though he didn't have his best year in 2016, still warranted double and triple teams from opposing offenses. If he's singled up, he usually finds his way into the opposing backfield to wreak a little bit of havoc.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Anderson. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. You know, last week it was unbelievable how many times they were in the backfield. They had 7 sacks. Whatever they had for pregame meal last week, maybe they had it again.
I think they're going to continue to repeat it if they keep this up. But remember, we were at their facility, and we walked past the defensive meeting room, and what did it say over the door? Rush the passer. It's a philosophy. It's a statement. That's who they want to be, and they've been very successful with it.
Yeah, an opening drive sack. So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. This is brought in at the 21. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their 6'5 quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball? and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And the tight end, Zach Ertz, is key in this offense as we get a look at the starters.
Comes out of the factory known as Stanford, which keeps putting out tight ends. Zach Ertz, one of the better ones we've seen in recent years.
Decent chunk of yardage still left here. 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line. And the big meat on the D-line. We'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
Wentz going to try and throw on 3rd. And he connects with Ertz. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. There are the numbers last week for Jay Ajayi. 19 carries, 76 yards.
And give him a ton of credit. He's running the ball really well. But I look at those guys up front. That unit is truly playing as just that. Every move that they make, their teammate understands what that move means and what they need to do. And right now, they're starting to grind it out pretty well.
Ertz over the middle. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good. That middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well. And he's got it.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds all the way down at the 6. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that have to be pinpoint here.
As I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down. He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience. Early in this game, but you like the fact that...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-zip. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. They'll try the right side with Elliott. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
That was a nice play by the defense, but the offense can't let that one play define them. Let it go, move on, and start over again.
Now Anderson to throw on third down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's brought down, but not before getting across midfield to the 45. So the offense has it 1st and 10. The give is to Elliott. And he's going to be met at about the 43. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power. We saw finesse. We saw speed. And what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Big sack on second down. Now the offense needs to convert here on third.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Operating from the gun, Anderson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. So a first quarter sack, and remember, keep in mind, he had 2 sacks in last week's game.
And it's always intriguing to me to watch these great pass rushers because some of them, they need their teammates to scheme for them. Maybe occupy people and make it a one-on-one matchup. Other guys, they just defeat everything in front of them. To get 2 sacks in a game, it's a little bit of both for you.
This is fielded at the 7. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. On play action, Wentz. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
An Eagle first down there, Wentz to Ertz, and the names that end in TZ.
All right, I'm doing my rudimentary math here. That's his 3rd catch here in the first quarter. I don't know if it's just game plan or he's just finding his way open.
And maybe a little of both. They run with Ajayi. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Burton. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Wentz. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. Well, what can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to leverage, don't you? Who is going to win that battle of the offensive and defensive lines? Low man wins. We talk about that, but we think about it in a running game. Well, guess what? The same thing happens when you're trying to pass protect. Are you low? Are you balanced? Are you in a position where the pass rush won't bowl you over on their way back to the quarterback? They've got to reestablish that in order to try and keep their man upright.
Because they have been bowled over a lot so far in this one. They start on the ground with Elliott. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed him for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
Taking it about the 16. 51 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season is gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
They fake the give. Now Wentz. Forced out to his left. Ertz has it left side. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. A gain of 32 that time.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wentz. Caught right side is Jeffrey. And he gets it down to the 32. 1 quarter in the books. 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
They've got a 2nd down at 5 here to start things out. He's hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
He just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Throwing is Wentz. Flushed out right. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
Working from the gun, Wentz. The quick slant caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. That's an old-fashioned death march there, partner. Took them a lot of plays, but hey, they did the job.
And the defense always preaches getting off the field, making a play, and turning it back over to their own offense. Unable to do so. A long, sustained drive by the offense.
And it's good to make it 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Cowboy offense heading out. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And right now, a lot to like on that screen. They've wrapped up the division, now currently sitting in the coveted number 2 spot. Of course, you want one. You'd love number 1, but if you can't have one, number 2 is pretty good.
I agree with you totally, and here's the other part, too. The really good teams, the really confident teams, they're not as worried about being number 1. 2 is fine because they feel like they can go on the road and win against number 1 if they absolutely have to. The big thing, though, is clinching one of those early buys and able to sit and get a little rest as the playoffs begin. Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Off the bootleg, Anderson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd down and 12. To throw is Anderson. From the gun, he'll throw. A dump off to Elliott. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This is taken around the 12. A nice little juke. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Our eyes shift to the defense of the Cowboys now. They were picked apart really on that last drive through the air. Now 2 touchdowns against them of the passing variety here in this first half.
And momentum totally going against them right now. One way to shift it, a big sack or some sort of a takeaway. They've got to find a way to get back in balance in this game because right now they're under siege.
Yeah, they're a little bit shaken. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They run again with Ajayi. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. An Eagle first down, Wentz to Ertz.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Throwing now is Wentz. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
Great footwork, but still wrangled down before reaching the 20. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Wentz now to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up second down. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
He tried to get the nose of the football across to no avail, and now it's 3rd and goal. Having trouble here from the 1. Couldn't pass it in, couldn't run it in. Now what?
I'm going to channel old school coaches right now. We're just rolling up our sleeves. I'm yelling at my guys, go get it. You're the 1 yard.
This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Eagles add on to their lead. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting runs. So much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Cowboy offense heading out. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Here's Anderson looking to throw on second down. On the left side, a catch by White. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. A first down carry by Elliott. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there?
Yes.
Maybe that extra hut, you know, that extra emphasis on it. Got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
To throw on third down. Anderson, incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now fourth down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. A chance for us now to discuss Jay Ajayi. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
And an alley to run. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a feeling those highlights will be pretty one-sided, too.
I think you're right, partner. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make the play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a third down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch. And most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving him.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. David Irving in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
He lost 2 there, and it's third down. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you over to our headquarters in Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Cowboys are behind right now, but the home crowd should give them a boost. The Eagles have come in and looked good as the road team, and will just keep trying to play hard and maintain the lead going forward. All right, let's roll the highlights. Now to the middle of the first. Nice work to make the catch in double coverage, and he caps off the 8-play drive with a touchdown. 3rd and long. Defense will get to the quarterback here. This ends up as a huge loss in yardage. We go now to early in the second. Wentz has got the completion through the middle. And after the short pass, he'll score. As they move out in front, 14-0. Eagles with the ball midway through the second. Quick pass, and he finds Alshon Jeffrey. And he caps off the long drive with the TD. Eagles go up by 21.
Okay, Larry, a fairly one-sided first half as we get set to go in the second half. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And checking in on what's going on up in the Meadowlands. And an early advantage in that one for the Giants. Teddy Bridgewater leading the charge offensively. They'll begin the drive with a J. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
When the 4-3 defense is functioning really well, you know who stays what we call clean and no one gets to him? The guy playing the middle linebacker position, the guy we call Mike. That means the defensive front is eating up all.
And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. Flush to his right. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. And not much of an opening there as he's only going to get this to about the 32. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all. And that leaves them with 3rd and long, which means you got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
Now Anderson. Anderson loses the football. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time there was a turnover.
And caught up to him. Wentz going to throw. That is caught inside the 5. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. But they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and say, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a gain.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Back to throw. Anderson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. So possession goes over here on the punt. Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. A solid 1st half for him, and so far a good start to the 2nd half.
And I'm going to try not to go overboard with praise here, but I can't help it. He is playing so well. Really accurate with the ball, finding guys open downfield, and finding the end zone 3 times. That'll help offset the 1 interception.
Absolutely. Just that 1 pick with the 3 touchdowns so far. And to give this time to the tailback. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
He'll rifle this one deep run, and that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
Wentz now on 1st down. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Wentz now on 1st down. That is caught at the 7. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding him to no gain.
And that one is incomplete. He just dropped it. But they're up big on the scoreboard, so maybe he can chuckle about later.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
On play action, it's Wentz. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach. But it kept the offense out of the end zone.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Holding offense.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. And that's a gain of 6 on the first down run.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Let's go! No, check!
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says, try something different. Try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And he fields it cleanly. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
I think it's way too early to go into a shell.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. David Irving in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
That's his second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
On second down, they'll try and run the counter. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trip. The Cowboys on 3rd down. A very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Anderson operating from the gun. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Fletcher Cox in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game. Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there, and I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think you may want to keep them cranking high right here.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
And his kick is good. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cowboy offense heading out. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7. Going to take to slow them down.
And past the 30 down to about the 27. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down. 3rd and 2, and they ran the ball for only 1 yard.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember. Well, one of the few things that's gone right for them. Likely a little too late, but maybe a little feather in their cap.
I think so, and to me, they played that play without looking at the scoreboard, without worrying about where they were in the score, because things haven't gone right, as you noted, for them much of this game. But they gave great effort there and picked up a defense that's had its share of troubles in this one.
And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down. And nobody was open downfield there. Looked like a pretty clear throwaway.
Yeah, definitely was that. I'm wondering why there wasn't intentional grounding. I know they're saying there's a receiver there in the area. Those down quarterbacks, they get away with everything.
Spoken like a true defensive back, Mr. Davis.
Did that come out?
It did.
Okay.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Five yards left for the offense. It's 2nd down.
Here we go now.
From the gun, Anderson. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Give him 3 on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
No, check. Patriot.
Anderson now on 3rd and 2. He completes it to Bryant. 20, 10, touchdown, Cowboys. Des Bryant, his 6th touchdown of the season, and the Cowboys cut into that lead. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. It's up and good, and it makes it 27-7 now. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. On 1st and 10, Anderson. His throw caught at about the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Des Bryant with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Cowboys get a bit closer.
Well, if you've got him in your fantasy league, you like his production, his second touchdown of the game. But right now, his team is trailing. Fortunately, he's playing pretty well and trying to keep him in it.
Yeah, they might need a little more from him here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they continue to call his number. Right now, he needs his defense to step up and give him a chance.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. All right, time for us now to discuss Alshon Jeffrey. 2 touchdowns to his credit so far. Charles, I'm curious, do these wide receivers, what do they go in with each week? Is it different week to week for the goals that they personally set for themselves, do you think?
I doubt that it's different from week to week. Maybe because of game plan, they know that one guy might be featured more than the other. But all in all, these guys are looking for 100 or more yards in receiving. But the biggest thing, getting into the end zone. And how about him? He's gotten there twice in this game.
He has indeed. Shedding through the defense. Room here to run. Jay Ajayi's going to go. The 20, 10, touchdown, Philadelphia. Jay Ajayi hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
And they'll get set here looking for the 2-point conversion. Now Wentz. Blitz coming, and down he goes. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Elsewhere, they're on to the 4th quarter of MetLife Stadium, and the Giants have scored to extend their lead. If they indeed win, it would be win number 9 on the season. Now Anderson on 1st and 10. Bryant with a catch right side. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
All right, here we go. Blue line it. Blue line.
To throw is Anderson. From the gun, he'll throw. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Safarian-Jenkins. And that'll bring up second down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
Here's Anderson. Back to the air on second down. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
On third down, Anderson. He hits White, complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
On first down, Anderson. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Anderson to throw on second down. And he's going to go down again. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Come on, let's go.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. It's grabbed over the middle by White. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down. Did they maybe play that too safely on third down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have fourth down to try and pick it up.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on fourth down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to float this one deep right side. Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So they lost yardage, and they declined the penalty. There's no logical reasoning to do that.
I'm trying to go through this little Rolodex in this small brain of mine, and I'm coming up with nothing, partner. I've got zip on that one. Take the yardage, right? Take the penalty. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there. Second down.
Brandon, it's all about pace and tempo now for them. They've got the advantage, so I'm going to put musical terms for you. You don't want to go prestissimo. That's too quick, too lively, right? But you also don't want to slow it down too much. You don't want to go lenta. What you really want to be is moderato. Nice and even, nice and steady, get those gains, and close out the game.
I think that chicken parm from last night's gone to your head. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. And out now come the Cowboys. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And he'll give it here to his running back. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Going to give this time to the tailback. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. Jones on the return. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
All right, he'll be dropped at the 30. And a shifty move got him a couple extra on the play. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. So 3rd and medium here, 3rd and 5. Now a handoff here to his running back. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Kind of running there at your own risk against that 4-3 and that big line, aren't you?
Yeah, and I don't really run it against a good 4-3 team that well because I've got to get those guys on the move a little bit. If you're a static running team, meaning you just want to run it in the middle, you may have some trouble against good defensive tackles. That's what we just saw in that play. No gain.
A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves them with 3rd and just a couple.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Eagles, they will indeed finish over 500 at 9-7. And that is maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but a better than average season nonetheless. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. But more importantly, they'll get a week to rest as they've earned a first-round bye in this year's playoffs. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. So long, everybody.